Hi my beautiful angels, welcome back to my channel. How is everyone doing? I'm so excited to be here and spending time with you. I was planning today's video based on some of the feelings and thoughts that I experienced over this past weekend. So I went to my best friend's college and I went with my two other best friends, which was really exciting because it felt like we were all having this sleepover that we never really got to have when we were in high school. That was one of the major things that I was looking forward to do. But as the weekend went on, I experienced a couple of feelings and thoughts that brought me back to this topic. So because I was surrounded by friends, I really want to get into how I am and basically like my outlook and how I grew up to be when it comes to relationships and friendships. I feel like I'm a little bit of a black and white kind of person when it comes to relationships and friendships. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't give people the grace that they deserve. I don't give out second chances to just anybody. And when we're speaking about the type of person that I've always been very highly intuitive. I've always been very sensitive to other people's energy. I've always been practicing a lot of discernment because there's a lot of things that come to me before they happen. Sorry, my voice is a little bit crazy because I'm sick. All that to say that I'm very selective with the people that I choose to spend my time with. I might know of a lot of people through passing and because of school and etc, but for me to have a close mutual connection with someone on a deeper level, such as my best friends, that is very hard for me to come by because I just can't share my life with everyone, and I am okay with that. Like, I love that I am the way that I am. I think that a major part of that is because I've been hurt a lot emotionally in the past, and I've spent a lot of time alone trying to rebuild my self-confidence and trying to rebuild the values and the outlook that I have for life. Therefore, I would love to share with you some of the advice that I've collected over the years to build thick skin and to get to this level of maturity. So the first point that I wanted to make is that when I first moved from New York City to Florida, I was 17 and I was turning 18, I believe so. Yes, I'm correct. So I was turning 18 years old. I was about to finish high school, or I had just finished high school. Like, I finished a semester into my senior year of high school because I was moving. So I was done by February because I remember that when my birthday came around, I think about a week later, I was about to start esthetician school. If you don't know that about me, I didn't go to college because I decided to pursue esthetician school. Moving to a completely new state where you have no friends from your childhood and you're kind of the new girl everywhere that you go, that was very challenging for me because I struggle with the idea of making close friends. And I often struggled with that because I thought that that was supposed to be the thing. Like, you're supposed to find a group of people and you're supposed to click with them and you're gonna be close and blah blah blah, and everything you do, you gotta do it with them. That's kind of how I grew up here in New York City, considering that I went to the same middle school and the same high school with a lot of my close friends that I still have to this day. But some tough love advice that I realized is that it is okay to be open to meeting new people, but it doesn't mean that they all have to be on a close friend level, because I already have that. I don't need to find the same replica and same set of friends that I already have in New York City and different bodies over there in Florida. That was a very hard lesson for me to learn because I often felt very lonely during the beginning of my move. But then I realized that it is more than okay for not everybody to be on that close friend level. Let me tell you something. People are weird, and they get even weirder as soon as they find out even more information about you. Not everybody deserves to be on that close friend level, and keep in mind that one of the ways that I like to practice this is to have different kind of friends for different kind of things. For example, I have my close friends from here in New York where I grew up with them, I went to school with them, we are very close, and we're probably always going to be very close because we grew up the same way, if that makes sense. We have the same morals, we have the same values with them. I share some of my deepest, darkest secrets. Whenever I go through something challenging, they're the first ones to always show up for me. Whenever I am going through something exciting, they're the ones who also show up for me. So I already have them and we are locked in. I have people that are on the same mentality as me when it comes to that. That's usually what I look for whenever I'm having a close friend level friendship. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still working on that certain thing as well, just like you are, because I don't have many friends for certain things, but nonetheless, I am very open to having different types of friends for certain things. Like, por ejemplo, I have people on Instagram that I speak to sometimes where we reach out to each other and we check in on each other, like, hey, how are you? Like, are you doing good? Yes, I'm doing good. Okay, great. How's the gym? We kind of check in about that and we have a conversation about this, but that's about it. Like, we don't have to go on such a deep level for you to know all of my deepest, darkest secrets right there and then. That is not necessary. I already have people for that. So my advice to you is to find different types of hobbies that you like to do and find the friends that are fit for that hobby. For example, if you often like to go to a dinner, find friends that are on the same level as you as far as money, because you obviously don't want to go out with somebody that can often go out to dinner. Go ahead and find that friend for that. If you know that your close friends don't often go to the gym with you, find yourself friends that are willing to go to the gym with you, to go to a Pilates class, to go to a yoga studio. Moral of the story is to find friends for different types of areas in your life. When you only try to stick to the same friends that you've always had since childhood, it makes things a little bit more complicated, and there's gonna be a certain point in your life where everybody's going to be busy and not super involved in your day-to-day life. So you're gonna end up feeling very lonely if you're not open to making and allowing new friends into your life. All right, so this next point I am very passionate about, and it is something that I will say that I kind of did not have to learn the hard way. Learn how to be selective and picky with romantic relationships and in friendships. As a young woman that's consistently learning, I would say that I am very lighthearted, I am very creative, I'm very divine, I am magnetic with my energy, and not everybody deserves a little piece of my cake. You have to be in tune with a certain type of frequency to really get into my energy. Some people, when it comes to relationships, whether it is platonic or not, they're going to want to take a little bit of that. They're going to want to take that magic away from you, even if it doesn't look intentional at the moment. That kind of reminds me of that line that Lotto says in her songs, "You ain't never fuck with no boss, bitch, I turned you out." Stop messing with people that have nothing to offer you, and I'm not just speaking materialistically. I'm speaking energetically, because that's the thing that's most being exchanged here, especially through sex. I feel like that's something that a lot of people my age don't really consider or don't pause to think twice on, because they're here for a good time, right? But if you really pause for a second and you think to yourself, do I actually feel good after seeing this person? Is everything that I'm giving being reciprocated? Do I feel a mutual respect from this person? If you're sitting with yourself at the moment and you're thinking, well, the answer is probably no. Stop making excuses for other people. Another thing that I wanted to remind you is that it does get lonely at the top. Not everybody's going to get your energy and the charm that you bring, and not everybody deserves it, because people will only meet you as deep as they have met themselves. Which is why if someone cheats on you, lies to you, disrespects you in any way, do not take it personal. I know that it's easier said than done, but please don't take it personal, because this is the universe's way of making space for the people that are actually meant to be there to support you in the way that you deserve to feel supported and loved. That is why I feel like it is very important to cultivate relationships where you guys are both on the same frequency. We kind of have that same level of mentality about the way that we view things in life. Let me remind you that you're not Bob the Builder, and I do believe in giving people some grace, but I feel like it should be to those kind of people that already come with an open heart, and that you don't have to struggle with touching them on a deeper level. It is more than okay to come through with high standards and be picky, because being picky is going to allow the bullshit to drop quicker. Alright, so this advice is something that I took notice of over this past weekend that I experienced at my best friend's college. I literally realized and witnessed with my own eyes that FOMO is going to ruin your life. If you're constantly saying yes to other people and you're not really putting yourself first, that is going to lead you to so much burnout. We obviously know that the fear of missing out is not good. Noticing that in the first place is the first step towards the right direction. One of the ways that I experienced FOMO in my life was when all of my friends decided to go to college and I didn't. It took me such a long time to not view myself as a failure, because I didn't follow the path that everybody at my age would traditionally follow. Then I spent the past weekend at my best friend's college, and while I am gonna say that I did have a good time, I am not missing out. And that sounds so bad the way that I'm saying it, but I mean it in a way where I don't think that life was built for me. I would say that I'm very sensitive to energy, and to constantly be overstimulated in college is a no-no for me. Even though it was really hard to not give in to what other people expected me to do, and I just followed my gut and my heart, I'm very glad that I did, because that's working out for me long term. Imagine if I had put myself in debt, went through college, and after spending all of that money, then I realized that maybe this life is really not for me. That would be me learning the hard way, and having FOMO is literally going to ruin so many areas of your life if you continue saying yes to things that you don't really want to do. Whenever something comes up for you, ask yourself, is this really something that I want to do, or do I just have a fear of missing out? You're gonna start realizing that 90% of the things that you're doing is because you have FOMO, but also realize that it is okay to miss out on certain types of things. You have amazing and precious energy to protect, especially in a world where ditty things exist. Ladies, if you want honesty and authenticity to be given to you, you have to practice that yourself as well. Let me explain from personal experience that just happened as of recently. I felt myself holding in my thoughts and my personal feelings towards the situation, and it was regarding a friend of mine, and I was really contemplating whether I wanted to voice my opinion or whether I just wanted to shut the hell up and move on with my life. The reason why this was a pretty big deal to me was because I am sitting here on YouTube telling people that communication is key and that if something is bothering them to speak up and voice it, because that's the only way things are ever gonna be known, right? And then I find myself at this current moment in real life doing the opposite of what I preach. I'm holding in information, I'm not really being honest. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, that didn't sit right with me and I felt so uncomfortable. And the reason why I felt uncomfortable is because I felt even more uncomfortable voicing my opinion because I didn't really know how to do it in a way where I'm not coming across as mean. I just don't want to make her feel like I'm judging her or that I'm just bringing this up just to start things. I just genuinely wanted to look out for my friend and I wanted to voice my opinion on something that I feel like would be beneficial to her, but I was afraid that this conversation could honestly be the end of our friendship if she takes it the wrong way. So I sat with myself and I was asking, okay, what would my higher self do in this situation? Would Dynasty voice her opinion and speak up about exactly what I was feeling? Or do I shut up and be a yes man to my friend because nobody else will be honest with her? And because I consider myself a good friend and I love to practice honesty and authenticity, I decided to do the uncomfortable even if it didn't really feel good at all. I'm literally like shaking in my boots. I'm like, oh, like I have to say it, otherwise I'm gonna be considered fake and I'm gonna be doing a disservice to my friendship and to my morals and my values. So yes, I did the uncomfortable. I spoke up exactly about how I was feeling, and you want to know what the beauty of that was? I did it in such a way where I was able to show up with my friend, I was able to be honest about my opinion, and I proved to myself that I am able to have uncomfortable conversations with friends without hurting their feelings. And that was such a big deal to me because I realized that having healthy confrontation is good, especially if that's not the way that you're coming from. I kind of proved to myself like, yeah, I'm able to do hard things that I didn't really think were possible for a girl like me. Like, you know, I'm a little bit shy sometimes and I get uncomfortable, and I often find myself in a situation where I don't really care that much enough to really speak about it, but this person I do care about on such a deep level, and I just felt the need of giving her the tough love advice that I feel that she deserved because nobody else was willing to be honest with her. That solidified to me that I really am who I say I am, and not only do I talk the talk, but I also walk the walk, ladies. You have to do both, especially if you want that energy to be reciprocated for you. Anyways, if you have reached this point of my video, this is the end. I really enjoyed speaking about this topic considering that these lessons are a bit fresh for me. It also felt very cathartic to speak on them because at the same time I was also reflecting and it felt really good. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok in case you would like to see what I do on an everyday basis. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe in case you would like to see more videos like these. Mwah! I appreciate you and I can't wait to see you guys on my next video. Bye!